Hello friends, I'm George, the nice medic gentleman. Welcome back to the channel guys. I hope that all of you are having a great day. Let's review some Maison Alhambra fragrances in this video today guys. Today I'm going to review Toro Pour Homme and Your Touch. Now Toro Pour Homme is a surprisingly good clone of Terre and Your Touch is a very nicely done clone of Armani's Stronger With You. I'm going to start with Toro Pour Homme from Maison Alhambra. The fragrance comes packaged in this pretty simple looking box. On the front you got the name of the fragrance, the name of the company, the bottle size 100 milliliters, the concentration EDP. On the top you got some Maison Alhambra branding. On the back some additional information along with the sticker of authenticity. And on the bottom there's a production date which is June of 2023. And then this is how the bottle looks. It's kind of similar to what you get with the real deal. Has nice heft to it. The cap is plastic, but it's actually a snug fit, so it's not a problem to pick up the bottle through the cap. And the bottle has this sort of an not brownish but like an orange coloration to it. Oh no, the packaging is pretty simple, but you have to take into account the fact that this is a very cheap fragrance. The note breakdown of Toro Pour Homme, at least as per Fragrantica, has the following notes. The top notes are orange and grapefruit, the middle notes are pepper and pelargonium, the base notes are vetiver, patchouli, cedar and benzoin. I'll show you the spray in action and then I'll tell you about the scent of this fragrance. The spray is alright, a little bit on the weak side. Now this thing opens up very bright, very citrusy. The orange and the grapefruit note are definitely there, and to my nose the grapefruit note is the more dominant of the citrusy notes and it feels kind of a sweet type of a grapefruit note. I pick up a touch of spiciness, that's something like a black pepper, and also the vetiver is there right from the get-go. Once this starts to dry down, you know that those citrusy notes, they don't lose a lot of their strength. They're even there on the dry down as well, but the vetiver becomes a lot more prominent. This thing becomes a little bit more woody, quite a lot more woody actually on the dry down. The black pepper loses its strength and completely disappears. And also, as I said, the vetiver becomes very prominent. I also pick up an ambery sweetness out of this fragrance on the dry down. And oh no, this is a very sort of an enjoyable, fresh type of scent that's very versatile but has a bit of an age factor, at least in my opinion. When it comes to how close this thing is to the original, this thing feels kind of sweeter compared to the original scent. The original scent feels a little bit, the original Terre feels a little bit fresher up top, whereas this, the grapefruit note feels a lot sweeter compared to the original scent. And on the dry down, the amber sweetness is ramped up compared to the original. Oh, if you know how the original smells, you immediately pick up what Toro is trying to do or is trying to clone, but it's not like super close, but still a pretty decent alternative to Terre. When it comes to the performance of this fragrance, it's surprisingly a good performer. I've been getting about 7 to 7.5 hours of performance on my skin, which for a fresh type of a fragrance I think is a very decent performance. And also this is quite a loud fragrance in the first 1 hour of its life. It will project nicely for additional 30 minutes, so the total projection of this fragrance that I've been getting out of it is about 90 minutes. So performance wise for a fresh type of scent, has been pretty decent and I have absolutely no problem with it. When it comes to the price tag, this is a super cheap fragrance. I bought it off a makeup site called Makeup, which they have sort of a network of sites across Europe, and the price that I paid was about 14 or 15 euros, somewhere thereabout, which makes it a very affordable, cheap fragrance. When it comes to versatility, this is a super versatile scent. Of course, the scent profile is more oriented towards the warmer months of the year, spring, summer, early fall, but you can wear this here or this thing all year round, and you know, it's pretty versatile. It has a bit of an age factor, as I said, feels slightly more mature, but still younger guys can wear this one without any problem. Now let's move on to the second fragrance, which is called Your Touch. It comes packaged in this gray and silver colored box. On the front you got the name of the fragrance, the company, the bottle size 100 milliliters, the concentration, EDP, some branding on the top, sticker of authenticity on the back, and on the bottom there's a production date, which is September of 2023. And then this is how the bottle looks. This time around it's not super similar to what you get with the originals, and this thing looks a little bit more squarish compared to the sort of the rounded edges that the original fragrance has, which of course is Armani's Stronger With You. The cap is feels kind of like having a metallic coating on it. It's a pretty snug fit, and all in all, another very decent packaging, especially again considering the price point of this fragrance. If you enjoy my videos, guys, but you're not yet a subscriber to the channel, please consider hitting the subscribe button. It really means a lot to me. And also don't forget to hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of my future videos. Okay, now let's talk about the note breakdown of Your Touch from Maison Alhambra. The top notes are cardamom, pink pepper, mint and violet leaf. The heart notes or the middle notes are pineapple, sage, watermelon, cinnamon and lavender. And the base notes are vanilla, chestnut, cedar, amber oud and guaiaco. Let's see the sprayer in action and then I'll tell you about the scent of this fragrance. Another very decent sprayer. And now on to the actual scent of this one. Now the opening is sweet, but at the same time kind of fresh, kind of refreshing, and feels slightly fruity. I definitely pick up quite a lot of sweetness right from the get-go, but there's also some spiciness. The cinnamon note is there. I pick up some of the lavender, some of that melony type of vibe out of it. And also a bit of woodiness in the opening. It doesn't feel overwhelmingly sweet, but it's quite a sweet fragrance in the opening. When this starts to dry down, some of that freshness goes away. This thing becomes a little bit sweeter, a little bit more woody. The chestnut note starts to you know, poke its head in this one. And all in all, this is a very light, sweet, you know, slightly spicy, slightly woody scent that feels kind of warm and very easy to wear as well. All in all, it's a very decently done fragrance that also has a touch bit of a sort of like a shower jelly vibe because of its lightness, you know, fruity lightness and you know, and sweetness. This gives me a little bit of something like Herbo Puro vibes, but it's not close to that one. Just gives me this kind of vibes when I smell it. When it comes to how close this thing is to the original scent, it's not super close. This feels more like a twist on the original scent, more like a take on the original scent rather than a straight up clone. It lacks a bit of the sweetness, it lacks a bit of the depth, you know, it lacks also a bit of that strength of the chestnut note. It doesn't feel as warm, feels a little bit fresher, a little bit lighter compared to the original scent, and it feels more like a fresher sort of a take on the original scent, like a fresher flanker to Stronger With You. When it comes to performance, this is another very decently performing fragrance. I'll be getting somewhere between 7 to 8 hours of performance out of it, with moderate projection in the first 90 minutes. So performance wise, there are no issues with this fragrance. Just keep in mind that this is not a very loud scent. When it comes to the price tag, another super cheap fragrance that I got off the makeup website, and I paid again roughly about 14-15 euros, which makes it a great deal. When it comes to versatility, the scent profile of this fragrance is definitely more orientated towards the colder months of the year. You can wear this one in warmer weather as long as you don't go too heavy on the trigger, and this definitely has a sort of an youthful vibe to it. So not a super versatile fragrance, but still versatile enough in my opinion. And on to my final thoughts about Toro Pour Homme and Your Touch from Maison Alhambra. Now Toro Pour Homme feels very close to the original scent, to Terre so that it's cloning. It's slightly sweeter compared to that one, but still scent-wise is pretty close. It has decent performance, it's dirty cheap, has a bit of an age factor to it, but if you like grassy vetiver type of scents, and if you're looking for an alternative or clone of Terre definitely check out Toro Pour Homme. Now, I'll be honest with you, this is not my most favorite scent profile, but I cannot deny the fact that Maison Alhambra have done a pretty good job with Toro Pour Homme. When it comes to Your Touch, again, this is a clone of a Stronger With You, but not really a clone in my opinion, more like a twist, like a fresher, slightly less sweet take on the Stronger With You DNA. Still though, this is a very enjoyable fragrance that has a very youthful scent profile, that's sweet, that's warm, and I think works very nicely in cold weather. And also this is another very cheap fragrance. So if you're looking for an alternative to Stronger With You that's a little bit easier to wear, slightly lighter, slightly fresher, definitely check out Your Touch from Maison Alhambra. Both fragrances get a like from me. And so guys, in today's video I showed you two fragrances from Maison Alhambra: Toro Pour Homme, which is a nicely done clone of Terre, and Your Touch, which is a nice twist on the Armani Stronger With You DNA. I hope that you found this video interesting. If you did, give it a like, and I also hope that you're going to join me in the next one. And until then, stay safe and bye bye.